Regular training increases certainty and so becomes a safety factor. But unfortunately, the current state of the economy means that many amateur pilots are facing the problem of how to stick to good skills with a shrinking budget and so a smaller number of hours flown. Evidence for this is provided by a series of accidents which have happened over the last year, where the low number of the pilot's flight hours was probably a contributing factor. 1st of March, TL-96 star, poorly handled landing. 6th of July, T-131 P.A. Jungmann, LKPN, unsuccessful landing. They say you never forget how to swim or ride a bike. But what about driving a car and flying? It's a bit more complicated. Moreover, it also depends on whether after a break we are driving along a road on a sunny day, or we are thrown off the deep end in a foreign city full of careless drivers and in an unfamiliar car without sat-nav. 16th July, Astir, poorly managed landing in terrain. It depends on the age when we learnt to fly. It depends on the time we have spent in the air, on the length of the break, on the types flown and our overall skill. Unfortunately, from a certain age, we don't improve, and similarly, other abilities start to disappear.
Postupujúcim vekom samozrejme sa stáva človek rigidnejším, horšie a pomalšie si osvojuje určité návyky a samozrejme je to otázka potom reakcie na záťažové situácie, jak rýchlo dokáže reagovať, jak sa dokáže v tom orientovať. No a samozrejme, čím sme starší, tým v podstate tieto funkcie sa spomalujú a oslabujú.
Yes, the PC simulator can become a real place in your mind for a moment. Sometimes you can even use it to find your way around a cockpit. But flying with a simulator is basically just a game. And it cannot teach you how to fly, and it can never replace the hours spent behind the joystick. You can give a military pilot from the 80s a plane during a long final approach, and apart from the high leveling off which we anticipate, he won't give us any surprises. But who knows what danger he is in? Who knows that after a long break a person will not react incorrectly in a critical situation?
Môžeme povedať, že bezpečnosť lietania súvisí a veľmi úzko súvisí s vycvičenosťou pilota a nalietanosťou pilota. To súvisí s nalietanými hodinami, počtami pristádi a štartov. Samozrejme sú to úkony, ktoré sa častejším cvičením fixujú. Je to niečo pod otázkou podmieneného reflexu, ktorý v podstate, keď sa neposiluje neustálým opakovaním, tak postupne vyhasí na
1st of September, dynamic, poorly handled landing. 2nd of October, turbo finist, poorly handled procedure for landing. It is said that after a break in flying, the first of our skills to go is landing in a strong crosswind, which requires significant coordination and a feeling for the individual aircraft. If we overlook the fact that there are some pilots who in this respect have nothing to lose because they only fly if they meet SAVOC, without wind and who have never learnt the relevant habits, it is clear that the matter is highly individual. Regulation protects us and the aircraft even during the training phase. For example, if there is a break longer than 8 days between the actual flights, the instructor has to go with the pupil. For a flight with passengers in the aircraft, we must have had 3 landings over the last 90 days. But the main criterion should be our common sense. "24th of July, Super Blanik, Kyiv, hard landing. 6th of August, KA-7, Cheb, hard landing after excessive reaction of trainee. And there is a good reason why trainees are told time and again that during flight it is necessary to pilot, navigate, and communicate in this order. If we are flying a circuit or around an airfield on a nice day, we only need to know how to pilot an aircraft. And we can say the right words over the radio. But beware if the weather deteriorates and we have to return to our airfield from a great distance. We have to pilot intuitively in order to handle navigation, avoid nasty clouds and large forests at low height. And especially if we also have to communicate the route via controlled areas. So the ability to pilot the plane comes third, although it is the most important for our survival. Do we have sufficient experience to handle it? Given the enormous pressure, we will not become a single-channel pilot who can only deal with one problem and so picks the easiest. When we finally reach the airfield, will we remember the approach saying, "Gears, flaps, propeller"? And will we not land with a sense of relief without the undercarriage down? If we have the feeling that we do not have the experience and certainty for a given flight, we have to expect the worst conditions. So we should ask a safety pilot sufficiently in advance to plan the conditioning flights. A different approach can turn a pleasure flight into payment for the insurance deductible for damage to the aircraft, or something even worse. Do you want to be a well-known dead pilot, or live to a ripe old age as an experienced pilot?